All right, I am back and I have found out how to manage modules. I haven't added a ton of like LTIs or external tools into it, but I have found ways to make them cute, engaging, just for classroom expectations. The more we dig and the more we learn, the more you'll see what you can do using the RCI, or what they call the rich content editor, or I guess that's the RCE. I'm just going to call it RCE. So I am on my first grade home screen looking at what I've got so far. I still haven't gotten rid of these because I need more of this up there. That's totally fine. But now I need to go down to modules. And I would click down here, but I haven't linked that yet. That'll be another time. So where did my modules go? Oh wait, I put it up here. So what I did to come up with an easy module for classroom rules was I actually went over to Commons again, and you can see that I searched rules. I don't remember which one that I used, but I think it was actually this one. You're going to want to go for a module on it because you're going to want to teach it using the pages. A module contains pages, it can contain discussions, it can include quizzes and assignments. It's totally up to you on how you want to use it. So for this one, I decided to do one page on what the rules are and then a quiz just checking for understanding. So my module contains one page, one quiz, and that's it. So a module is not really anything except that it contains lessons. So in a year, depending on how many lessons you go through, I probably go through 36 lessons if I teach one concept per hour a week, maybe 45. And it depends on like reviews and days off and stuff. Then I'll have quite a few modules. You're gonna probably be making modules a lot using pages, quizzes, assignments, stuff like that. So you're gonna go on to here, and just like the homeroom page, or the home page, you're gonna import and download to your classes. Now, they're using all of these, like a collage, what are rules, class rules. I don't call them rules, I call them expectations. It's up to you on how you want to set that up. You could also include a page about consequences, like calling home, sitting out, being on mute for a Zoom call. These could all look different because we're starting the first 4 weeks online. So it might be beneficial for you to talk to other teachers who teach your grade level or your content area about what kind of consequences and what kind of rules they're going to have. So I'm going to go back over to mine, and I'm going to show you how to edit these modules. So once it's done importing, it will show up automatically in your modules. So I'm just going to go on into what are rules, and when I get in there, I'm going to edit it. Something that I think is beneficial, especially if you have a co-teacher, like let's say there's 2 reading teachers in a grade level, maybe sharing a Google Docs about what your rules could be and collaborating that way. Since I'm the only music teacher at my school, I decided to write my rules out in a Word doc, and then I'm gonna paste them into here. So first I'm gonna edit. You can see that this guy has classroom rules using minions. You can totally do that. You can make a YouTube video if you want. Up to you. So I don't do rules. I'm doing music expectations. Well, maybe I am. It doesn't let me do that. That's okay. Music expectations, online and in person. So I'm going to delete all of this because I don't want this guy's stuff. And I am going to copy and paste over some of my stuff. So my rules are pretty simple. I've only got 3 of them. And it's something that the kids at the school all know. We drill it basically all year when things get out of hand. I'm like, show me 1, and they got to put their hands on their ears. Show me 2, raise your hand. Show me 3, the hands folded in their lap, and it shows all the rules so they kind of know. It's kind of like an attention getter too, so it works, and I can't complain about that. So I'm going to delete some of this. Now, if you just like texts, awesome. Don't add anything else. But if you're like me and you are into the Bitmoji, or you're into making things cool, colorful, vibrant, here's a fun way to do it. I'm going to go back over to PowerPoint and show you one of my rules. So my 3 rules are: 1, listen and follow all directions; 2, raise your hand and wait your turn to speak; and then 3, my favorite, my most important one in the room, is be kind. I keep saying rules and expectations interchangeably, but I do use expectations in the music room, and I talk about it later too. So the expectation is be kind. What I do after that is I just snip it, and I'm going to save it as expectation 3. The other ones I've already got saved, so I'm just going to go ahead and upload them into here. So when you want to add photos or other media into here, you're going to go onto that side and go from there. I'm going to see if I can upload all 3 at the same time. Not sure if they'll let me. No, I can only do 1 at a time. That's okay. So here's my first one. So we've got listen and follow all directions. And it's not super big. See, it's just small enough. It gives just a sample size, but it's still fun. It gets their attention. It works. I'm going to add in the next one, expectation 2. Now, of course, for Zoom, I would have to go over number 2, because they're going to be like, raise our hand. There's the raise your hand option on Zoom. You would just have to show them where that is. Or they can physically just raise their hand, wait their turn to speak. Like, you know, they'll stay muted until you're like, oh, Cassidy, what do you have to say? So, you know, it kind of just depends. And then my last one, be kind. You guys saw that one. And so I personalized it using my Bitmoji, using my rules. They're going to feel kind of like we're almost back to normal. Hopefully, that's my goal. So I'm going to copy and paste the rest of my presentation over. I've got a typo in there. So this is what it all looks like when it's all together. Super cool. And I'll show you the student view when we're done too. And yeah, so that's my first slide. And then it wants me to come up with the quiz next, which I will. I'm going to get rid of these for now. I don't need that. And I'm assigning it to everyone. And I'm not going to make it available or anything yet, because it's not, I have the course closed until the 24th, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But once I do make it available, I'll probably make it available until August 28th. That'll give them the whole week to go through and look at the expectations, figure out how to use the module, and probably do an activity. And that will take up an hour of their time, which is allotted for music and PE, 30 minutes for art. So I'm going to save. It's going to say that it's published. It is what it is. They can't see it anyway yet. This is what it all looks like. I'm going to go on to the next page. And now it's going to let me, oh, you know what? I'm actually going to delete this. I have to delete that in the module one. I'll show you how to do that. I don't want that though, because it's not my class rules. I could upload my own, but they already saw it on the other page, so why overwhelm them? This is the quiz. So I'm just going to edit it. So instead of class rules quiz, I'm changing it to music room expectations quiz. Easy. And it's got all these. I want multiple attempts because I want them to know the expectations. I do want to shuffle answer. answers. Shuffle questions should also be a thing. You don't want to require an access code yet, maybe later. Like if you're doing a scavenger hunt, that might be a good idea to require an access code where they have to search online to find the access code to take like the exit ticket quiz at the end. So that's something that you could do. I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to go into questions. Hopefully it's going to probably ask me to edit it again. My bad. All right. So right here, it says, what's the first rule? Of course, I don't want that because I don't use rules. I want it to be multiple choice, but here you can see that you can do multiple different things. Especially as like special teachers, I mean, using true false for like kindergarten might be a pretty solid move. I probably won't use essay questions in a K through 5. I mean, maybe. But, you know, it depends on different situations. But for this one, I'm going with multiple choice. What is the first expectation? And they come preloaded, but mine are listen and follow all directions. Raise your hand and wait your turn to speak. And then I've got be kind. Easy. I'm deleting this fourth one. I don't need it. This is a first grade quiz, but I'm going to probably copy and paste it over to all grade levels because I want them all to have the same knowledge and background on the classroom expectations. You can change your answer comments if you want. So I'm keeping them as great job and try again. But if you were doing like something on history, you could be like, oh, the World War I didn't happen at this time. Let's try again. Or you'd be like, great, World War II did finish in 1945, or whatever you choose to do. So you can change these right here. So now I'm going to update question so it saves. Now I've got what's the first expectation. I'm going to go through it and do these other two as well. Actually, I'm not. I lied. I'm sorry. I am going to go to student view instead. Because you guys get the gist of things, I think you understand what's going on with that. So now I've got it saved. Moving on. And then I'll be deleting this rules collage example. This seems more like not a me kind of thing, so that's totally fine. So I'm going to go back over to modules and delete the 2 pages that I'm not using, which was the rules collage and like the rules PDF. And to do that, all you have to do is just remove. Easy. All right, so now what I want to do is in every person's Canvas, you have an option to do student view. You'll know you're in student view because the screen around is going to turn purpley, pink, fuchsia, I guess. Whatever you call that color. So now I can, eventually I'll be able to come down here and click modules and it'll take me to modules. Not there just yet, that's fine. I'm going to click on modules. The test student, of course, is only you. It comes up as like somebody in your grade book, but it doesn't affect your grade book average. But you can reset student when you're finished. So I'm going to start the module. It does have to be published for the test student to see it as well. So I'm going to have to get rid of this assignment part because I don't need it. So I'm going to read through these with my parents and be like, wow, this is so cool. And then I'm going to move on to the next page. And there's a quiz. I'm going to be like, oh, bummer, but I'm going to do it anyway. There's only 3 questions. It'll take 3 minutes of my time. And I've got what is the first expectation. I know that it's listen and follow all directions. And of course, I didn't edit these. Press submit. It will tell the student if they have unanswered questions. So I only got 1 question right. Bummer. I'm going to take the quiz again until I get the highest score. You could do a rubric about that, about getting 3 out of 3 is going to be like required. You could also not count this towards their final grade. You can fool around with that over in the grade book, which is a teacher function. Then you can see the comments. I did great job, try again, try again. And it shows the correct answer. You can turn off that setting as well if you don't want them to know the right answer, but like I said, it all depends on what you're teaching and how you want to teach it. So I'm going to leave student view. And I think that's it for doing your first module. Remember, you can add other things. You can add in Google Docs. You can add in Office 365. If you're a middle high school teacher, that's probably going to be the move for you. For younger grades, maybe not, because it's a lot of external tools. You kind of want to keep it in one area. The only other thing that I wanted to show you real quick was the Emojipedia. This is pretty cool because you can add it into your different lessons and modules. I'll show you how I did it with mine. If I can remember which class I was doing that with. I practiced before showing you guys this. You know what? I think it's this one. Okay, then modules. So I added those emojis right in here. You can do plenty of other things, anything you can think of, from like cards to dogs. Up to you, just search in there. I'll add it down at the bottom of this YouTube link. Let me know if you have any questions on creating a module or linking any external sources in. That'll probably be like my next lesson or my next module, because I want to add in like a drum bit or something like that for the kids to work with as like a welcome back activity and getting used to using Canvas. And I think that's a good expectation for the first week, is just learning what it's going to be like for the first 4 weeks. All right. Thanks for coming in. See ya.